one of the last remaining communal celebrations we have in Philadelphia, where the community totally sponsors it and coordinates it and makes it happen. It started 11 years ago when we lost ancestor Baba Olatunji, who for many of us was how we learned about African music and African drum. And so every year we continue to acknowledge those who came, who made a major breakthrough for us, like Mongo Santa Maria, who taught us about the Afro-Cuban experience and Afro-Cuban drumming. Tuto Pentes, another one, taught us about Latino drumming. And now we're honoring this 11th year, one of our supporters every year who made sure we did our drum circle and everything, Bobby Crowder, who made transition last year. He was a master drummer and teacher in our area, and we truly miss him, and we're trying to keep this tradition going. He said the drum is the heartbeat and how we continue to communicate with the ancestors. And it's very important that the community has a way to come together and enjoy itself. We don't charge for this event. We have vendors here, have African Marketplace. It's children friendly, it's family friendly. People just come and enjoy their whole day. As long as the weather holds out for us, we'll continue to do that this year. So we enjoy doing this. It's a small committee that pulls it off each year. Whatever we raise is used as a seed money for the next event, because we have to rent the portable toilets and awards for people. So it's not like a profit-making event. It's a thing that we do out of love and out of caring for our tradition and those people who've been the keepers of the culture.
Besima Mohamed Bey, 4th Assistant President General to the UNIA. Here today at the Drum Festival with the honor of interviewing my brother, he said Inside Out.
Kofi Jimai.
Please say your name again.
Kofi Jimai, Inside Out. This is my story.
Kofi Jimai, Inside Out, telling his story. Kofi has been amongst the drummers in this community for many of years, and I would like for him to tell his story. How long have you been a drummer, brother?
55 plus years.
Were you here initially when this first circle here began to start?
Yes.
He was amongst this drumming circle, which is an honor. I see you wearing Baba Crowder's shirt on you. If you could just move your pad a little bit, it says here, everybody likes Saturday night. Baba Crowder was one of the master drummers amongst us, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us a little bit about your relationship with Baba Crowder, you as a drummer, 55 years, him having experience of being a master drummer here, known well across the world.
Bobby Crowder was drumming when wasn't nobody else drumming. And what he did, he used the instrument as an instrument for teaching and learning, because he learned from the great Saka Akwe. That's where this came from. Everybody loves Saturday Night. It was a song that Saka Akwe did.
Now, who was Saka Akwe?
He was the African carver that came from Ghana that settled in with Arthur Hall, who was a milestone in Philadelphia for a long time, who founded the Ile Ife Arts Center on Germantown Avenue.
So we're talking about legends here, brothers and sisters. We're talking about an icon sitting before you, have made it his business. We understand that you have been going through some health issues, and we are proud to see that you have not allowed that to stop you from being here today with us. It is an honor to see you. It is an honor to see you drum amongst the drummers here today. Tell us what you feel about this day's event, and what did it mean to you this year coming back for the very first time?
It's a blessing to be not forgotten. As one drummer told me when a young lady came up, when I came up to the table, I told her it was good to see her. She said it was better to be seen than viewed.
I heard you.
Because I have a picture of Baba Crowder drumming for me on my wall in my room. If it wasn't for Baba Crowder, a lot of the people that are drumming now would not be drumming. He was stern, but he was fair. Baba was drumming when you weren't allowed to drum in Philadelphia, because for a long time the drums were banned in Philadelphia. You weren't allowed to drum or play no musical instruments in the park, in the street, or nowhere.
I remember hearing of that time that it had became a city ordinance that drumming was banned here in the city of Philadelphia. Not only here in the city of Philadelphia, I hear people talk about that across the states, but here, particularly in the city of Philadelphia, to hear that you are amongst the legend of those drummers who took that stance, who followed Baba's footsteps, who soldiered with him, and is here today to carry out that legacy as we honor the drummers.
Go to George's Hill and drum on Sundays in the park. When Baba was drumming, drums were forbidden.
Take your time. We'd love to hear more from you. We'd love for you to tell, as you said, this is your story.
Well, sad but true, I put me in this chair. Nobody put me in this chair.
What do you mean by that, brother? You put yourself in a chair.
Obedience is better than sacrifice. I knew I shouldn't have smoked, and I did. And I smoked one pack of cigarettes, and it gave me a massive stroke and put me in this chair. Until then, I was dancing on stilts.
That's why I'm glad you talked about that, because I remember the stilt walking that you used to do. When they asked me to do the interview with you, I had to take a double look, and I said, wow, I will be honored to do the interview with the brother. Those stilt walking days have allowed many of us to see the capability and the dedication that came from the culture inside of you.
What it is, God gives everybody gifts. I was just fortunate enough to be able to take the gift that he gave me and run with it. I've been in the cultural community a total of 55 plus years now.
And you ran on them stilts, brother. You improvised to us strongly the dedication of African culture. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But again, I did not remember who you was just sitting here because I haven't seen you in years.
What it is, the mass has its own society, and nobody talks about it because in Africa they have a saying. They said, those who tell don't know, and those who don't know tell, which means that if you know about the mass, you don't talk about the mass, because the mass is sacred.
And so I need not to ask you what that mask is then, huh?
You can ask, but the mask was not me. The mask was something that once I put it on, I embodied the spirit of that mask. The mask is not the person. The mask is itself. But sometimes we're fortunate enough to be given gifts that bless a lot of people. And I was lucky enough to have that masquerade take me around the world at least 6 times. I got an honorary teaching position at the University of Legon when I went in 1998, teaching drums, dance, and masquerades. God has a way of letting you keep all the faculties you want in position if that's what you want to do. We don't leave him. He don't leave us, we leave him. I was told, and I didn't believe it, that obedience is better than sacrifice. And it's the truth.
Your determination of making that evaluation when you say, and it's the truth. Can you talk about that truth? Because a lot of times we're not obedient. You started off as saying, I put myself in a chair. I looked at it as a spiritual acknowledgement in terms of the outcome of your life. So when you say that we're not being obedient, can you talk about that for a moment?
I should have been obedient to the will of the universe. Tobacco is not good for us, and we know it, but we use it anyway. Drugs aren't good for us, but we do it anyway. We're who we are as a people. The truth is, if you know the right thing, do the right thing. Don't wait until you have a problem to do the right thing. Do it because it's the right thing to do.
Very well received, Baba. Very well received.
Thank you. It's hard to talk about myself because I'm always talking about other people, but I'm just glad to be able to do this today for Baba and all the other people. Because if it wasn't for them, there wouldn't be no us.
Ashe.
Somebody always has to be a pioneer. The seed has to start somewhere.
And more importantly, what I'm experiencing today, meeting a young brother, is that the seed is being planted and that it's being continued on. We are not just taking these teachings and sitting on them, we're passing them on.
Each one teach one. In order to teach it, you have to know it. And in order to know it, you have to learn it. Then after you learn it, then you can teach it. But the only thing I find out is there's one absolute truth, and that's God is who He is, and He lets us do His will. Had I had my will 55 years ago, I wouldn't have been drumming. But the sound of the drum called me, and I stayed with it forever.
It was very interesting, the circle that was around you, the brothers that are drumming today. These are some of the same brothers that came up during the time of young students with you and Brother Crowder. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So the drumming circle here in this city is still a sacred order. 55 years later, I can still feel the energy of Baba Crowder's teaching.
Well, Baba learned from some good people. He was very strict and he was very serious about what he did as a teacher. And the truth is that once the seed is planted in fertile ground, and it's the truth, it will always grow a fruitful tree.
My name is Ralph Stevenson. I'm native here of Philadelphia, and I have been coming to this celebration for the past 11 years. As a matter of fact, I was at the very first one where it was awesome. We had, as a matter of fact, at the time I had my young daughter. She must have been about maybe 4 or 5 years old, and she was able to make a drum. We had a workshop over there where all of the kids were making the drums, and so when we had the grand finale, all of the kids from 3, 5, 6 to 12, they all sat in and participated in the drumming based on the drum that they had made. This is a great place for African people to gather. There is something to be said about just the energy where African people come together. And then the other part about this thing is to give the props, give the acknowledgement to Mongo Santa Maria, to Alatunji. And this year, you know, we're Baba Crowder, we're honoring him here also. So it's a wonderful thing. There's always a lot of love. There's great vibrations. There is, it's just good. It's a good place to be, and I'm grateful to be one in the number.
Mama Nia. Come on up here. We know Mama Nia. She's been playing Shake Away. She sings. She does everything. She's just part of everything. We've just known each other for many, many years. And she's a keeper of the culture, a keeper of the tradition. And we want to honor her for continuing to do that every year. Just being steadfast and true, always having a beautiful spirit. I never seen a Mama Nia at a downtime. You know, we all know she lost her partner in love and struggle, our Baba Daoud. And she, you know, and I told her I had to welcome her to the Widowers Club. I said, I'm sorry, sis, you're joining me in this, because it ain't something I welcome for anybody. But she, you know, we up here, we strong. And we know our men are still proud of us because we still staying steadfast and staying true to the culture. So to my dear sister Mama Nia, who's been in so many different cultural and performing arts groups, I can't even name them all. Nanika, Women Shake Away, who else. Well, I was supposed to be a Nanika with them. When they first started out, it was going to be Nanika Ma. It was everybody's part of their name, so Maisha was going to be in it. But I thought they were doing it for fun, and I wasn't serious. So they wanted me to be in there because I was going to be a good soprano. But I couldn't hang with the sisters, so it just became Nanika and Nia and Kandi and all the other ones who started this wonderful a cappella group. And so we're just honored to have her here. So we have this award for you, Mama Nia. You see what I want, Mama? It says the Ngoma Committee presents to Mama Nia an appreciation for your contribution to African music and culture. June 23rd, 2013.
Thank you so much. And I want to say to the cultural community that in my 66 years, I have only worked for the system 4.5 years. The creator gave me the job of doing Nanika, so I couldn't go work for nobody else.
One of the fathers of stilt walking in this city, who taught mostly everyone how to stilt walk. Kofi Jimai, masquerade specialist at the masquerade meeting the stilt walkers. Kofi is one of the leading forces in the art of traditional African masquerade, both in terms of oral and live presentation. Kofi possesses excellent mask making skills and over the years has developed several mask presentations. Kofi was a major part of Arthur Hall's dance ensemble, what we all know as Ile Ife, throughout the 1980s, during which time he trained a special group of masqueraders. Kofi was one of the original members of the African American Stilt Ballet, and Kofi has been in Washington, D.C. area as an artist in resident at the African Heritage Center, as well as being a masquerade specialist. He is also an accomplished storyteller and percussionist. During a brief stay in Ghana, West Africa, Kofi was awarded a professorship at the University of Legon. He taught stilt walking, masquerade, drama, and percussion. Kofi is known throughout Philadelphia area as the father of stilt walking. For years, he has trained several masqueraders in the art of stilt walking and African history. He has worked in the capacity of consultant for the Martin Luther King Drama Department and everything. So we want to thank Kofi for being tall among us, teaching the others to walk among us tall on the stilt, looking out, protecting us, and bringing and honoring the ancestors. We want to thank Brother Kofi.
He thought everybody forgot about him when he did the interview. Much respect to you, Baba. Much respect to you. Much respect.
He's the African king.
He's the African king.
Kofi. It's up here. He said he thought we forgot about him.
That's how we do it. Kofi! We love you! We love you! We love you! I got you taking care of him, but from the side. Kofi!
So when you see these stilt walkers walking around at these events, African stilt walkers, we can thank Brother Kofi for being the one that trained the ones who are now training the trainers.
Train us all, that's right.
All right. Baba Kofi, brother, you want to say a few words? You might have to move a little closer. It'll stretch. Okay.
Thank you for the love, my home. And then Mohamed,
like to say thank you, Philadelphia, for 55 years of taking care of me. Even though I'm not a native of the city, Atlanta's my home. But I call Philadelphia my home. I love you all, Philly. Thank you very much. God bless you. And I'm glad I didn't forget. I said I wasn't going to cry.
That's all right.
I don't know how I feel.
Let her be, honey.
Thank you, Philly. I love you all.
Love you too, brother. Thank you, Bob.
And for all my students, I say thank you for being faithful and believing in me. I did the best I could with what I had. In order to teach it, you gotta learn it. And to know it, you gotta learn it first, and then teach it. Plant the seeds while they're young, y'all. And the children will always remember where they came from. I had a story I was going to tell, but I know we pressed for time. It was an old slave whose daughter was with her, and they was taking her away. And so what she said, my daughter will always remember me because I sing all the time, and she sang her song. And what happened, that's how her daughter found out that she got grown, because what happened, all the slaves were not allowed to sing or allowed to do anything. And so her mother was the only one that didn't make a noise. So that's how she found her mom. So you who have children, teach them while they're young and they won't forget you when they get old. God rest my soul, my mother and father, they're gone. But they taught me the best they could. They said, obedience is better than sacrifice. And if you teach your children this, they'll always do the right thing. Spiritual son Ira is a good example. When I met him, he was about 14, 15. I was teaching at King. Now the man has a master's. He'd have been to Africa, and now he's back with his wife from Mali. Now the man speaks French. He could barely speak English when I met him. Now he speaks French to his wife and to his friends. Thank you. Thank you, Ira.
He crying with you, Baba.
Introduction to our next awardee, Brother Ira Bond, who, as he said, was one of his mentees, who he mentored, who now we know is a strong drummer, educator, a contributor, young in age, but contributing wisely because of who he mentored under and who trained him. And so you can see the power of Kofi's teaching and Brother Ira. So the Ngoma Committee presents this award to Ira Bond in appreciation for your contribution to African music and culture for this June 2013.
Yes! Go ahead.
Okay, I'm not going to say too much, but he's right. I started at 14. I'll be 39 in the summer. And it's been like 24 years of culture. But one thing that in the past couple of years that I'm strong about is just learning, not just learning the drumming for the music, but learning it for what it means. You know, this culture is alive. It thrives, it saves, it does so much. And I'm a living testament of it. I mean, you know, when we talk about saying Kofa and going back in order to go forward, this is what it means right here. We never forget our past because we're standing on the shoulders of people that came before us. So this is the reason why we have an event like this, to remember not only the fallen people who are not here anymore, but also to remember the ancestors from long ago. You know, and it's just amazing. It's a wonderful thing. I'm happy to be a Philadelphian right now, and I'm happy to be an African. And this is what this is what it's about. So, thank you so much, Brother Zumbi, brother. You know, it takes a village, Brother Zumbi and Brother Kofi. It was so many people when I was a young man. You know, just instilling in me, and I thank you so much for this opportunity.
But he was not able to make it today. And as you know, Terry has been like the linchpin holding this together for many, many years. And so we wanted to give him and honor him an award because he's an excellent drummer, line dancer. He's now teaching the bop over the Church of the Advocate. You want some bop lessons? Terry doing. That's probably why he's not here. He done wore himself out. But Terry is just always giving back. Just a kind-hearted brother, and we wanted to honor him, and we wanted to let him see that we're still holding it together, even though he was not officially a part of the NGOMA this year. He saw that this is an institutional institution. He showed us how to hold it together. So we also will give this award to Brother Terry Biggs. All right, we want to have some of the members from the committee come up. And even though Brother Terry not here, he's still a member of the committee. We don't care. He's here in spirit. So, and Sister Barbara Aikens, she had some issues to do with today with her family, but she was here and she fulfilled her responsibility for making sure the toilets had what they needed to have. So this is the NGOMA committee. I'll introduce everyone over here. The Sister Ife, who's been handling the vendors over the years. Sister Irena, who's been helping with pulling together the drum circles and just keeping things going, helping with the table. Sister Ike Jenkins, who's been responsible for the Ancestral Shrine for years. A beautiful table. Make sure you go and give tribute to your ancestors at that beautiful table. Sister Nzinga, also one of the ones making sure we have everything we need. We do all these emails be bouncing back and forth. Brother Zumbi, who stepped up into more of the coordinating position and everything, right? And make sure the grounds are safe, mowed, that the children can run around barefoot, right? No dog poop, nothing like that around here. Brother Jelani, who's also been helping out from the beginning. He had a drum museum here one year. We're coming back next year. All these drums he had, a beautiful drum museum that was a part of the exhibit. And I'm Maisha Ngoza.